Online TV.
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Tobo Village community along the Japanese Highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover?
A pleasant good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're watching us from. This is the daily edition of Inside the Print Media, and it's such an honor having you guys here with us this morning. Don't forget to my name is Beckman Conchor, and as well as the presenter here on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. This morning, I'm here along with my co-presenter. His name is
Okay, Lyndon Tupa.
here, Lyndon Topper is my co-presenter here on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. And all we do here is we bring to you information relating to our country, Liberia, and the war. Here, Lyndon this morning.
Well, it's such a fun year, especially enjoy that you passionate about. And more often, it's a pleasure to always get into Liberian people, especially during these crucial electionary periods.
So it's such a blessing, folks, to have all of you here, especially as we talk about our country as we go through a runoff election again, the second runoff election, and it's going to be on November 14th. Next week, Tuesday, hopefully, by last week, we're going to be electing our president for our beloved country, Liberia. So we encourage you to keep also your monitors close to the electronic gadgets that bring to you informative information related to our country, Liberia. And don't forget, Focal Online TV will be here to bring to you details relating to our country, Liberia. So, folks, let's look at our newspapers we have in studio. Let's do a newspaper review. And we have newspapers in studio here. We have the Daily Observer newspaper, and under the Daily Observer newspaper, we have two top stories. LACD faces pressure to investigate Senator-elect Natina Maggie and others. LACC, don't forget the LACC is the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. Liberia Corruption Commission. LACC faces pressure to investigate Senator-elect Nathaniel McGill and others. So this is the first headline under the Daily Observer newspaper. And then next we have Jesse guests in personal rehab reintegration. Jetty to invest in personal rehab reintegration. This is an informative morning for us to know, and it's good enough you get yourself a newspaper, please. And from the newspaper, we have plot against Speaker Chambers. Plot against Speaker Chambers and his staff hot and take. This is interesting. Veteran educator Samson endorses Waka. Veteran educator Leo Samson endorses Waka. So we have from from African newspaper, Killing Sofa. Can you please tell us?
Yeah, there are a lot of interesting stories as from Page Africa and that of the Hot Pepper newspaper. Firstly, the front page Africa. Young man survives kidney failure with help from Liberia's leader. Young man survives kidney failure with help from Liberia's leader. Former Finance Minister, Senator-elect of Bakuru County endorses UP Alliance. Former Finance Minister, Senator-elect of Bakuru County endorses UP Alliance. This is how we move over to the Hot Pepper newspaper. Investigate the use of country devil in Maryland election. Religious group tells NEC. Investigate the use of country devil in Maryland election. Religious group tells NEC. So it's over to you, Grafina, for the continuations of the recap of all of the news stories.
So it's now easy time this morning, and it's good being back with you folks. So we will comment from the Daily Observer newspaper. Thanks to Killing Sofa, who have filled us in from the front page Africa and the Hot Pepper newspaper. So we read to you earlier the headlines of our news story this morning. So we will bring to you now the detail with emphasis on the headlines. So firstly, this is some paper. LACC faces pressure to investigate Senator-elect Latana McGill in the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission (LACC) is facing mounting pressure from the Center for Transparency and Accountability Center to investigate and potentially prosecute former and newly elected public officials who have been censured by the U.S. The LACC, which changed leadership about 2 months ago, with Councillor Alexandra Zhu taking the helm of the anti-graft body, has yet to publicly confirm its claim about the case, even though its new leadership has indicated its commitment to effectively combating corruption. The Zoe administration science has prompted Center to reiterate calls for the prosecution of Senator-elect Nathaniel McGill and other former and elected public officials who have been sanctioned by the U.S. for alleged corruption. We call on the new leadership of the LACC to break the culture of impunity for corruption in Liberia by engaging the U.S. for evidence to aid the prosecution of elected sanctioned officials and other accused of corruption and abuse of public trust and resources. Anderson Mami, Senator Center Executive Director, said this is one of the initial biggest tests of the new LACC as Liberians and development partners are eagerly watching to see the Commission stance on this matter. He added corruption poses a significant threat to Liberia, inclusive and sustainable economic growth and development. The existence of these loopholes and exploitation by corrupt politicians, and individual compromises the provision of adequate health care and quality education across the country. This is how we move over to another headline under the data newspaper. Jetty to invest in personal rehab reintegration. Authorities of the Monrovia Central Prison have initiated discussion with business mogul Orchid Snare Diva Jetty Community Court to collaborate on a program that will provide employable skills to inmates. The collaborative approach aims to ultimately reduce the rate of recidivism and offer them a chance at a first time upon release. The Indian business mogul, who has spent 30 plus years in Liberia and runs a business empire that spans multiple industries, has built a reputation for his commitment to social causes and community development. He believes that the provision of technical skills will make the image more marketable and capable of reintegrating into society upon their release. The discussion between Shadiva and the Monrovia Central Prison authorities which is still in its early stage, began when he visited the prison on November 2 to feed the nearly 1,500 inmates. It comes as prison has faced long-term challenges related to rehabilitation, which has increased the rate of recidivism, the tendency of a convicted criminal to reoffend, according to prison authorities. Investing in the rehabilitation and reintegration of inmates has been close to my chest for a while. He said the inmates have untapped potential, and with the right training they can contribute positively to society. According to Shadiva, he and the prison authorities are exploring the logistics and feasibility of implementing such a program within the correctional facility. The initiative for offering the inmates multiple skills such as carpentry, plumbing, electrical work, and other trades. The collaboration represents an opportunity to address these ideas and issues by enhancing the prospects of rehabilitation and reduce the likelihood of reoffending among inmates. He added, "It is how we move forward healing the Topak who directly to us in from the front page Africa newspaper."
Thank you, Griffin, for setting such a beautiful piece this morning. Front page Africa newspaper. Young man survives the failure with help from Liberia's leaders. In it heartwarming story of resilience and compassion, 22-year-old Momo Kurman, who battled kidney failure and a tragic loss of both his parents, has miraculously survived thanks to the unwavering support and interventions from prominent figures in Liberia. Kurman's life took a dramatic turn when he was admitted to a hospital, struggling to breathe freely due to kidney failure. The condition threatened to smash him away from the embrace of life itself. However, dark clouds surrounding him could soon part, paving the way for a remarkable recovery. President George Weah and Diana Nebo, Managing Director of National Food Authority, emerged as the heroes of this story by providing critical assistance when it was most needed. Before the intervention, Croman had already endured the painful loss of both his parents, compounding his already challenging situation. The young man's life hung by a thread, and it appeared that it was inching closer to the brink of despair until a divine intervention occurred. In a short video, Managing Director Diana Newport of the National Port Authority explained what motivated her to step in and help save Croman's life. Her dedications to humanitarian causes and her genuine concern for the welfare of fellow citizens became evident through the acts of kindness. Overwhelmed by gratitude, Croman visited Nepal's office to express his heartfelt appreciation for the invaluable support he had received. Nepal, clearly moved by the young man's resilience, could not contain her emotions and openly expressed her joy for witnessing Croman's remarkable recovery. This is an emotional story that serves as a reminder of power of compassion, leadership, and the resilience of human spirit. Despite the adversity and hard edge that Croman faced, he stands today as a testimony to the unwavering human spirit that can overcome the most challenging obstacles. Through the combined effort of Dr. George Manwia and Honorable Diana Nebo, Croman now breathe freely and enjoys the gift of life once again. This heartwarming tale of survival and compassion is a testament to the potential for positive change when people come together to support another in times of need. This is how we move over to another headline. Former Finance Minister Senator elect of Bapolu County endorses UP alliance. Bapolu County elect Amara County has called on Liberians to consider the upcoming November 14, 2023 runoff election as an evaluation of the ruling coalitions of democratic change performance over the last 5 years. He made this statement on Monday when he endorsed the Unity Party Alliance presidential candidate Eugen Buaka along with Dr. Toga McIntosh of the Alternative National Congress led by Alexander Cummings. Senator-elect Americana emphasized that his endorsement to the Unity Party Alliance Bouakai is not based on personal or familial relationship, but it is driven by the interest of the country, which has been several sectors deteriorate under the Weah's government's tenure. The election served as a referendum on President Weah's leadership. It evolves around critical issues such as struggling education system, the fragile health sector, poor infrastructure, and apparent disregard to the rule of law by President Weah and his government official, he stated. He further emphasized the importance of focusing on the issues rather than personality in the elections campaign. He cited examples such as pregnant women having to pay for healthcare and children in rural areas not attending school due to the lack of teachers as the primary concern that need addressing. The former finance minister also criticized the CDC government for increasing the wage bill as a way to appease party supporters, describing it as a failed policies of harmonization. He added, I followed the protocols set by my predecessors, ensuring that civil servant salaries were a top priority and were paid on time. The wage bills is not much significant financial aspect to the economy, and harmonization was a flawed policy. Regarding the issues of the drug in the country, during the endorsement of the Unity Party, he accused the ruling CDC of turning Liberia into a drug epidemic that threatens the future of children and young adults who voted for this government. This is how we will turn it over to Griffin and CPI for the continuations of news on this network.
It's the UK London. So far, that was from Page African newspaper, and it's being transferred to the New Dawn newspaper now. So we proceed with the headline: Plot against Speaker Chambers. I think the pressure is getting worse. Politics. So this morning we have one from the New Dawn newspaper. It says plot against Speaker Chambers. NEC staff caught on tape. A voice recording suggests a mission to unorganized and anti-electoral plot against the re-election bid of House Speaker Dr. Paul Chambers as representative of Cleveland District, Maryland County, has been openly making rounds in Monroe. The alleged statement was purportedly made by an electoral supervisor of the National Election Commission, NEC, CC Mona England, assigned in Cleveland District during the conduct of the legislative and presidential elections. Ms. Nimley allegedly exposed the organized anti-electoral cadre against Dr. Buffer Chambers' re-election bid in a leaked audio. I am going to see ballot papers since the people do not know how to vote. So my attention was I gave him the ballot papers, then he gave it to the people, she narrated. According to who, after realizing that Dr. Buffer Chambers had accumulated massive across Cleveland and its surroundings, such a plan was formulated aimed at stuffing the ballot boxes in also the game. She also admitted that the tallying of results from also the game were delayed in order to accomplish the plot against Dr. Buffer Chambers. The NEC electoral supervisor, Ms. Nimley, admitted to buttressing and endorsing a request to stuff the ballot boxes in favor of Anthony Williams, an act which contravenes the electoral law of Liberia. She further that the cartel's launch authority or latitude may call to unilaterally execute such a fiendish of evil plan to overrun the legitimate decision of the people. This is so frustrating this morning. You heard it, folks. So we move over to another one. Veteran editor Leo Sampson endorses Bouakai. Exactly a week to the November 2023 runoff presidential election, veteran Liberian educator Dr. Leo M. Sampson has endorsed the candidacy of United Party standard bearer Unity Party Center burial Joseph Human Reverend slash Dr. Sampson is principal and chief administrator of the Hewu Mission Institute in Old Road, Monrovia. Liberia's closest presidential election in 2 decades is going to a run-off after none of the 20 candidates that participated in the first round obtained 50% plus one of the total vote cast to become victorious. However, incumbent President George Manavia and his main challenger Joseph Human Black, who received the highest percentage, are going to run off as constitutionally required to determine a winner. The election held on October 10, 2023, was the first such contest fully organized by the government without assistance from international partners since the end of the 14-year civil war that left 250,000 people dead. The incumbent President William secured 43.8% of the total votes, with 100% of the ballots counted, while Ambassador Boaka, a veteran statesman, slightly with 43.5%. Speaking Monday, November 6, 2023, at the endorsement ceremony held in the private office of Ambassador Boaka in Rehab Community, Painesville, Dr. Sampson described the former vice president as the only man in the race capable of redeeming Liberia from economic hardship. This is how we turn over to Caleb Lucifer, who will bring us an interesting story from the Hot Pepper newspaper.
Thank you, Griffin and CPI, for such a beautiful coordination. Hot Pepper newspaper. Investigate the use of Confederate in Maryland elections. Religious group tell NEC. Members of the two main religious groups in the country have expressed shock over report that Country Devil, the most feared traditional masquerade, assisted in electoral malpractices that engulf the elections in Maryland County. Followers of Christians and Islam said the report is troubling political issues that requires the intervention of the National Elections Commission and all involved with peaceful elections in the country. The group maintained that no free and fair democratic election can be held in an electoral district governed by traditionals by cartels only to the well-being of its members, and adding that the adoptions of said processes grossly undermine social justice and equality as enshrined within the Constitution. The bishop of the Fifth Mission Temple International, Reverend Dr. Yakwa said members of the Christian community want the National Elections Commission to see the report as a challenge to its credibility and act promptly to prevent future political problems. Reverend Yapat underscored that the National Elections Commission is therefore on an oath to tell the Liberian people about an outside interference in the conduct of the elections in Maryland County Electoral District 2. Similar concern have been expressed in the Islamic community, where the Country Devil is considered unjust on the practice of the Quran. A senior imam said, while he remains unexposed to the existence of the country's devil, he will not support any election that is held under the influence of secret society. It can be recalled that the Country Devil allegedly prevented several voters in District 2, Maryland County, from exercising their franchise in the just ended election, which Anthony Williams won. Williams' reported victory over the county's celebrated politicians and incumbent Speaker of the House of Representatives Buffer's Chamber has since been challenged by Marylanders who believe that the elections was interfered with. Meanwhile, the two sizes are expected to appear before the full bench of the commissions at the National Elections Commission for further investigation. This is how we will turn it over to Great Fantasy Pie for the continuations of international news on this platform.
Thanks to you, Killing. And so far, folks, just a summary of our news reading for today. We had top stories from the Daily Observer newspaper. We had top stories from the New Dawn newspaper, from Page Africa, and Hot Pepper newspaper. So just a run-off and a closing statement for our local news in our country, Liberia. We have this top story on LACC. As we all know, LACC is Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, and LACC is facing a mounting pressure from the Center for Transparency and Accountability. It's called Center CENTAL to investigate and potentially prosecute former and newly elected public figure that who seems to be Nathaniel McGill. So they are asking that LACC look for such evidence that was given by the US government because National Micro is being sanctioned. That we all know. So this is a informative information this morning. LACC, the center, that is Center of Transparency and Accountability, is calling on LACC.
Yes, yes, and
Yes,
it has been tough and it's a tough
so
and
they are
pressure on the
calling on
LCC.
LACC to mount the pressure and investigate the issue with our former he holds what position before?
Uh,
That's what I'm getting.
Nathaniel McGill was the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs,
Presidential.
but after he was sanctioned by the I call the U.S. Treasury Department on the basis of the Global Magnitsky Act, after a few days he resigned from the position as Minister of State for
And he
Presidential
was sanctioned.
Affairs.
So
Yeah.
then he ran in Margary
Yeah,
for
he actually
president.
contested in Maggie County, and based upon the results that were announced by the
Oh,
National Elections
yes.
Commission, he actually won the position he was actually aspiring for.
Yes, he won. So now they are calling, that's why he's a public official, they are calling the Center of Transparency and Accountability is calling on LACC, who holds that position to regulate the issue of corruption.
Yeah, but I think Spencer is actually doing the right thing
Yes.
because the LCC is the only institution that is clothed with the authority to actually pressure such investigations, considering the fact that the U.S. Treasury Department has indicted Nathaniel McGill. There are a lot of things ways the LCC and the Liberal Anti-Corruption can go to the Treasury Department or do a written communication to the Treasury Department so that the Treasury Department can provide and all of the required information so that they can quickly prosecute Nathaniel McGill.
So yeah, so you see, before I knew that LACC was being the administrator for LACC, or let's say the manager, whoever the head of LACC was Kanyo Baba.
Uh, no, coming back, Bala served in that particular position, but I think he left that position, and actually we have Councillor Clark Mountain. I need to be right about it. I need to be
But
right
yeah,
about
they
it. Yeah,
changed LACC, the leadership now
yeah.
2 months ago is Councillor
Because you can
Alexandra.
recall this foreign national Nibusi Wapotigi
Yeah.
once served as
Yes.
yeah.
So it's now Alexandra Zoe, and they are calling her to as well to this essential issue relating to our country as it relates to corruption. So this is it, folks. We brought it to you, brought it down to you. Maybe we were reading somewhere, somehow you skipped something. So we're just discussing this, the issue with corruption as it relates to Nathaniel McGill. You know, he was sanctioned before by the US government. He cannot travel to America, and there are certain things that took place. So now he then said, this is not enough my life. Let me go and try another place again. Talk about anyone.
Yeah, most definitely.
But now it's easy.
Having this having this political power, he very wanted to actually
Yeah, he
feel.
wanted to prove a point.
Yeah, he actually wanted to prove
This
a
is
point.
not, this is not
You know,
a
the elections in which McGill won was such a kind of tough elections because you had a lot of people, McGibbians, sensitizing the people do not vote for McGill. McGill is a criminal. This. But yet still the people got so so much interested to promoting McGill, so they actually voted in favor of McGill. Now McGill is the senator elect of Bapolu County, of Magibbi County rather. You
So
understand?
yeah. So, folks, we do not summary of our news reading. We just did all of our news reading, including the headlines. So this one is from Jetty. He's normally called Jetty. His name is Ajit Shadiva. Hope I'm pronouncing it well. If I'm not, I'm sorry. But then, he's in this community service thing, and he usually visiting the prison. He care food. He sometimes apply our disadvantaged workers out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Wait.
yeah, Jetty is one businessman in the humanitarian and financial
Yeah.
place that has caught my admiration. I got so much inspired when I see Jetty trying to give out helping hands to our people. You understand? Uh, yes, because a lot of people have the hand in Liberia and they don't want to cater aside from the newest propositions made by the authorities of the prison. Jetty has since been helping our youth outbreaks brothers, and he has been doing a lot of amazing work. I think on multiple times you have read stories where he embarked upon the construction of a very massive facility that will provide an aid to people who are engaged into the cultivations of rubber and other things.
So yeah, so Jetty is saying he been serving people, he been serving some inmates at the Bureau prison for 2 years now. He been feeding them, he been doing a whole lot for them. And this is something we should applaud him for as a humanitarian or foreigner from another land who happens to be in a country like Europe or renowned business and doing these things. He needs a round of applause. So honestly, he's been doing it for 2 years and he's trying to step up his results. This is what we call life. You cannot be in a position for 2, 3 years and don't grow every day. So he's saying, I'm doing this. So I feel there are prisoners or there are people who are in this that have talent and high gifts, or that needs to be trained so that if the possibility exists that they come out, they can be able to do something for themselves to maintain in order not to go back. So
He,
he's saying that he's gonna bring programs, he's gonna bring training, plumbing, carpentry, tailoring. These are things that are gonna take them to another level. And
yeah,
this man deserves more. He
yeah.
deserves
He actually deserves to be assisted by government also,
yes.
and I want to also appeal to Jetty.
NGO.
Yeah, yeah, I want to also appeal to Jetty not to only prioritize the prisoners, our young brothers and sisters who have gone wayward, who are actually battling the issues of the drug in Liberia. You can rehabilitate them and get them incorporated into your I call into your vocational activity too.
Okay, Lulu, so like you cannot do everything at the same time.
Yeah, but this is why you are also on the other hand asking the interventions of
So
other
we are
NGO
we
to
are
help him out.
calling on NGOs. I mean, this is what this man is doing. He's not bragging about it. People are seeing his work and they are putting him on the war stage. So I feel this is something that NGO can invest in, can go further to invest in. What is it about? Why is this man doing this? And they try to invest. The government too can help as well. So yeah, this is another one called against Speaker Timber. As you know, Speaker Timber here there have been a power play with Anthony Williams in terms of the election. So there's this leaked audio tape from NEC worker who said she talked about a lot. She talked about the country devil, the traditional leaders being involved in this issue that took place in Cleveland and Sodican district. And she's saying there's a leaked audio from Anthony Williams saying that the election it has some stuff in the ballot papers and other stuff.
Yeah,
And yeah, a lot
yeah,
of it.
here is the comical version about this whole story because this story has since been in the news for a
Yeah,
very long time. You know, when Speaker Timber sits for a while, and because sometimes you sit down quietly to reflect on some of the things that and some of the kind of things you have been doing over the last over several years. Because this is Buffer Steamer who has since been very vocal when Ellen was in power. So looking at him, Anthony Williams, and a former student leader from the University of Liberia, defeating him. I think when he said that sometimes he said, "Ah, am I about to be out of government? Am I about to lose the close to $2 million budget that I once had under my supervision?" But that is just the comical version. But here is the real thing: if they knew that the country devil, or there were several other traditional practices that prevented other people from exercising their political rights. I think they should have flagged it up long since, because there were other media institutions that were actually parading those places, and we didn't hear anything of such. But again, the investigation lies within the hands of the National Elections Commission, and if at all the National Elections Commissions cannot speedily investigate to bring that matter to a logical conclusion, that we have a court system in Liberia, and I think the courts will definitely dispense justice in favor of whoever merit the right of the people of that region.
Yeah, so we are just discussing these things to do a summary of the news reading so that those who are just joining us will be able to understand what we are talking about instead of us just reading and you not understanding. So this is what we usually do here when we discuss the issue. So we have another finance minister elect of Barbados County endorses UP Alliance. Amara Connie, where that phone.
Yeah, because for me, even though you could not jump the gun, but I knew that since because Hamarcon has since been vocal about this government, he has been frowning over the way, if the manner and form in which, the manner and form in which Samuel Tuwe particularly has been running the economy, because a lot of people, whenever Samuel Tuwe, a lot of Liberians describe Samuel Tuwe as a kind of, the kind of sugar coated of finance minister who went.
You describe
But for me, I consider him as a finance minister because he was appointed by the president. So every other decisions from the president ought to be respected. You understand?
I ought to be respected, but sometimes they ought to be
But there are a lot of Liberians who find with the fact that Samuel Tuwe acknowledged that the economy is progressing, but they are not. I know many Liberians are not really feeling the impact of the progress he is talking about. So this is why they most often time consider him as a kind of, and they most often time consider him as a kind of sugar coated finance minister,
so
because
another thing we can now observe is this man Amara Point he served in Ellen Virginia.
yeah, he served.
So as finance minister,
He
so
served
you
as
see,
finance
he was in
minister.
that field. He have some expertise
Mhm.
relating to issues when it comes to finances.
So yeah,
So he has some level of advantage
Yeah.
over Samuel Twe. So speaking about issues relating to our country Liberia and him being directed or him being so directed to Samuel Twe speaks a lot.
Yeah.
He knows what he was into. He served in that position.
apparently,
Yeah.
appar-
So he will want the best. He will want the best for our country.
yeah, apparently, prior to the formal ceremony in which he came publicly to endorse the UP Alliance, there has been pipeline discussions that, even though you are the senator, but there are times you provide some of your technical guardians, and yeah.
So he's not a financial man, though. So I mean, it's the pressure is getting worse of worse. Let's take a break. Just few seconds. We will be back to fill you in on our international news for today. But we have closed down on our local news within our country, Liberia. Our international news will be brought forth by Killington so far this morning. It's gonna be brought forth by Killington so far. So thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. Please stay with me. Make use of our comment section. We have something coming up. We have something really beautiful coming up for all of our followers. So every time you are watching football on TV, please do the needful. This is our needful we're asking you to do. Make use of our comment section. We are talking about issues related to our culture like state your importance as a citizen of our country. State your view on issues related to our country, and your view will be respected. This is what we do for Online TV. Just to notify you, we have Joshua Tackle Senior. Great job, my boss, and keep it up. I think this is what you killed it on top. And Rufus the Crown Books, following from the Center of Prime Communication Network Incorporated. Thanks to you, Rufus. We appreciate you here on Focal Online TV, and you are from Communication Network. So we are also the same thing for our love and thanks to you. Let's take a short break when we get back. We'll fill you in on our international news. Sorry, I cannot bring to you the international news this morning. Here they don't have to do so. So please stay with us as we will be right back shortly. How we come back again to say happy Tuesday to you. We will still believe in you, but we just don't want to leave you that way without informing you, without informing you about things that are happening outside of Liberia or things that are happening outside Liberia. So this is our international this morning, and this is from ABC Newsroom. This is on the ABC Newsroom, and Killing Little Pablo is reading out news.
Our for the international news, as Rex said, is from the source, the ABC News. Nobody has claimed Obama and some Democrat break with Biden on support for Israel. Nobody has claimed Obama and some Democrats break with Biden on support for Israel. Democratic support for President Joe Biden is wavering when it comes to his backing of Israel amid his conflict with Hamas, with several members of his own party, including the former President Barack Obama, saying more must be done to avoid killing Palestinian civilians. Biden has tried to strike a balance by arguing Israel has the right to self-defense while wanting Israel to be as careful as possible. But Obama, who has for the most part kept a low profile since leaving the presidency, in comments and surface over the weekend appeared to split with his former vice president, who has publicly supported Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, saying nobody hands a claim. More than 10,000 Palestinians have been killed, according to the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry, since Israel began a bombing and ground campaign in the Gaza Strip after the surprise Hamas terror attack on October 7 killed more than 1,400 Israelis, according to Israeli officials. With this being said, this is how we turn it over to Grafina Part to coordinate every other thing regarding the closure of today's program.
So, surprise Hamas terror attack on October 7 killed more than 1,400 Israelis, according to the Israel official. So, this is, folks, we ought to pray for Israel, we ought to pray for the Palestinians, and let's pray that things will resolve the Hamas, the Israelis. Let's just pray that these things that are happening will be resolved because it has some like disadvantages as it relates to resources. And sometimes because of these things, you will not have certain things in your country. Prices of things will be at a single level. So let's continue to pray for Israel. Let's pray for Palestinians. Let's pray that the work we Hamas and the Israelis will come to an end. You have more than 10,000 Palestinians that have been killed. So this is really bad. And October 7 killed 1,000 Israelis as well. So this is really bad. Let's hope, let's continue to pray. And thanks for joining us. My name is Greg Finacard, and I am the presenter of the edition of Inside Media. I'm going to be back tomorrow with interesting stories or with interesting news reading on Focal on TV, the edition of Inside Media. And again, tomorrow I'm going to be back at 11 o'clock with Focal with talking about gender violence, talking about issues related to AIDS, and this month I told you about contraceptive as well. So we're starting up with and the following week with the issue related contraceptive. So now to kill your time, that's the day. Happy Tuesday. I'm expecting a college bar, and I'm looking up with you saying have a nice day. Bye bye. Please stay positive as we hope we will come November 15th. Have a nice day. Bye.
Hello there, my name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information about